No witam. Lecimy dalej z Vampyrkiem. No, na poprzednim odcinku, nie powiem, trochę mnie zaskoczyła ta gra, musiałem trochę porozkminiać. Ale teraz chyba już wiem, zrobię, polecę dalej z główną misją. Wbiję jeszcze z level 2, jak mi się uda, i wtedy albo ulepszę sobie bronię, jak się da radę, i wtedy pójdę na tą poboczną misję, zrobię. Tak myślę właśnie. Rozwaliłbym ich tam, ale łatwo nie będzie. W sumie może pójdę. No to się wczytuję teraz, no tak. No dobra. Lecimy w takim razie. Lecimy w tej kostnicy w takim razie. Nie, na razie nie będziemy tu nikogo wykańczać, to nie ma sensu. Niech tu się dobrze dzieje w tym szpitalu, bo i tak jest marnie. A jak zacznę tu wysysać z nich krew, to muszę wyjść na zewnątrz, żeby tam dojść. Można by było tak spamować tą grę w sumie i zapierdalać, ty. Oho. Wybiła twoja ostatnia godzina, kurwiu. Haszkamp, kurwa. Nieźle w chuj, ty. Ostro. Winian żelaza. Chininę. Pod chloryn sodu. Ja pierdzielę. Takie rzeczy tylko w Vampyrze. Się wydaje, albo słyszę jakieś chujowe odgłosy z wnętrza tej kostnicy. W sumie to kostnica, no to...
It's locked, all right.
It's locked, all right. All right. Zakrwawione rzeczy. Dawaj tu szyję, kurwa. O ty kurwa.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Tak się drze jebany, tak się wydziera tam. Zaraz pójdę mu do jebie. Się skończysz.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
O tak. Tam się wybieramy. Kurwa, nie. Dlaczego to wcisnąłem? Patrz, pojebało go. Gdzie ty kurwa? Leżeć. Chinina, dobra. Zawsze więcej rzeczy.
Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Finian żelaza. A jeszcze miałem drzwi sprawdzić tutaj. Te się nie otwierają. A te?
It's locked.
It's locked. It's locked, kurwa. Rozumiesz? Idźmy na górę jeszcze. Zobaczmy, co na górze jest ciekawego. Dlaczego by nie? O, kolejne zwłoki. Ty zwłoku, jeden. Krew odżywcza, no. Aha. I to tyle, jeśli chodzi o górę. No dobra. Okej. Idźmy w takim razie do katakumbów. Czy do katakumby? Czy odblokowano drzwi? Do katakumbów zeszliśmy.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals.
Jeb, kurwa na łeb. Dzida. Dzidę. Nie mam żelaza plus 4. Nie wypada chyba z tych skrzynek. Nabój. Zajebiście. Loftka, zajebiście. To chyba strzelbę można kupić, bo to co wygląda to loftka, to chyba tak jest, no. A ciebie nie zauważyłem, widzisz. To jest dobre leczenie, tu jest zajebiste w tej grze, to mi się podoba, nie? Nieźle to wymyślili z tym. 410 punktów.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
Oh.
The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened.
Oh.
A puncture over the left lung. Possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful.
I coś komuś nie poszło.
Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Okej. Mr. Tippett.
Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked. It's locked.
Tak, wiem. Kurwa, znowu jeden przycisk. Nic nie wypada z tych skrzynek. Nie wiem, po cholerę one tu są. Ostro. No tu jakiegoś klucza, gdzieś coś. Gdzieś. O kurwa. A, serio? To było chujowe. Napierdalam go przez drzwi. Nie no, nie wierzę. No, leżeć gówno. No, otwórz te drzwi do chuja. Coś komuś tu nie wyszło. John Doe. Chodź chuju, o ty kurwa. Ten się umie teleportować. Ale ja też. Mam mało. A jebłem. Uniki dużo zabierają.
These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Tu sobie jeszcze poeksploruję trochę. Weź. Jakąś recepturę znalazłem, tu są drzwi. Dobra. Nie ma klucza do skrzynki tam. Skąd ja mam go wziąć, kurwa jego mać? Mam jeden. Zajebiście umiem robić takie rzeczy. Mi tu jakieś gówno jeszcze. Coś tam drze, te mordę jeszcze.
It's locked, all right.
It's locked, alright? Alright. Oiła! Leżeć. Patrz, kurwa, ale mi ten prawie by mnie zabił, ty. Patrz, jebany. O. O, skurwesyn, ten jaki mocny był. Peski tu. Coś na górze się jeszcze czai. Chodź tu, brzydolu. O, jebany mnie dorwał. No patrz, kolejny. No i leżeć, kurwa. Gówna jedna, no. Pewnie jest ten gdzieś klucz, ale gdzie? Dobra, jebać. Chodzimy stąd. Jebać biedę! Skurwensynki. Hehehe. Okej. Erisitas. Gry z Biedronki, zajebiście. Szok. Otwierać, policja. Kurwa, jego mać.
Apologize when you're feeling better.
O co tu z tym chodzi, kurwa?
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Okej.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks. Maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
A, widzisz.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
No dobra. Coś jeszcze sprawdzić. A, jeszcze ją, okej. Czekaj, gdzie ona to? Ona to gdzieś popierdalała chyba. Tu jesteś.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett in our situation?
Perhaps you did it with the best intentions, Nurse Brannigan, but you took a great risk. Must I remind you that a man died?
You mean you've never made a mistake? Never covered your tracks? Come on, Doctor. I wasn't born yesterday.
Dobra jest.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippett is a brilliant practitioner. We most definitely need his know-how.
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippett must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me. He doesn't need to know you found out.
O. Okej.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance. Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
No dobra. Dziwne jakieś tu się rzeczy dzieją, muszę powiedzieć, ale spoko.
Still more coming. How can we be sure we're making a difference?
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Okay.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Why did your mother have you hospital?
My mother...
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reed.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you, then.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Circumstances, I'm willing to give you...
Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor.
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail. I can't let that happen. I won't.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
All my son needs is help and comprehension. Not judgment and punishment for what he may or may not have done.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. No, ja wiem, ale właśnie chyba, że tą wariatkę zeżrę.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
You have no idea what problems your claim could cause if heard by the wrong people, Miss Howcroft. You must stop this nonsense now.
Why fear the truth? Strange things live in the dark, Dr. Reed. Strange and ancient beings that were here before this island even had a name.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require?
Oh,
Proof of my
boss.
powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's mind, you see?
No. Dokładnie tak.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal
Mistress.
activities.
Jeszcze raz. No to pójdę do apteki w takim razie. Jak to tam się idzie? Aha, tu jakoś pójść w lewo. Dobra. Jaki spam. O, to jest ten. Począć sobie, to fajnie. Cieszę się. Może można coś zbudować, czy coś. Nie będę się tu bawił na razie. Chcę się przespać. Złożony list, okej.
In this letter, Mortimer Goswick does nothing to hide his desire to die. I could give it to his mother, but doing so would betray his trust.
A, to jego chata, ja... A, no to spoko.
It's locked.
2 za 1 załatwię. Nie ma tragedii. Kurwa. Ale klucza nie ma do sejfu. Ciekawe, czy nie ma jakiejś umiejętności na otwieranie. Zaraz sprawdzimy. Gotować grę wybrałem, że te... Co stoi obok. Wściekłości. To też kontrolę na moment pozwalasz. Bestia ten posiadł. Wściekle ich atakuje, w tu wygląda przeciwnika, nie na życie, przejmować. Aha, okej, dobra, spoko. Dobra, taktyka, a to są nacienia. Doskok. 600 kosztuje. A na razie sobie... No. I jeszcze... Dobra. Nie. Potwierdź. Zajebiście. Wiesz, zawsze mógłbym zeżreć, ale spróbuję tak właśnie żeby nie zeżrać żadnych ludzi, chyba że tak będzie mi kazała gra, no to wtedy wiesz. Zobaczymy. A później drugi raz zagramy tak, że będę opierdalał wszystkich. Zeżrę wszystkich i to tyle. No bo czemu nie? Bo później jak mi się znudzi, to zeżrę wszystkich. Kadet Priven, żółtodziób Priven, a to jest kadet, to żółtodziób. Okej. Ty kurwa. 4. Trochę mi się zwiększył ten pasek, który ja widzę. Wytrzymałości też chyba. Jak się rozkraczył. No ten spierdolił. Stwierdził, że nie ma sensu się ze mną bić. Chyba. Ty kurwa. Ojebany. Ale mnie wbił. Ryj go. I on jest, kurwa, tu jest. Ujebany, no mi pierdolną. No ale zjebałem. Patrz jak biegnie za mną, jebany. Zbugował się. Lepiej dla mnie. O, moje ustalone te. Już za daleko dla niego było. I cóż, już musiał się cofać. Tak, dobrze, dobrze, amo. No, niedopracowana trochę gierka, ale nie ma tragedii, mówię. Egzekutor.
Ain't safe here for a gentleman. Stop right now. Over there.
Ostro. No mój jebłem. Gdzie ta apteka jest niby? Aha, to już niby gdzieś tam jest. No, poza. H.G. Griffin i oślepiony skal. On ma 16. Jebnie to chuj. Dobra. Ojebany. Może trochę krwi mam w sobie. Dawaj tu szyję, kurwa. On się leczy jebany chyba, mi się wydaje. No, leczy się jebany. Mówię, coś tam, kurwa tu nie pasuje. A ty kurwa. Ten chuj. Ale mi jebnął. Dawaj szyję, kurwa. No nie jest łatwa z nim walka, nie powiem. Zeżrę go? Zeżrę go, dobra, nie ma tragedii. Co zostawił? Szkoda.
Opium is one of the main ingredients of Strickland's medication. Never a good move.
Not a good move, no. Opium. No dobra. Idziemy z powrotem w takim razie. Jep, jep, jep. Jep, jep, jep. Jaki cheater, patrz jaki cheater. Kurwa mać. Dobrze, ja idę. Poszedłem. Nie, jaki spam, jaki spam. No to już nie mogę. Gdzie ten Strickland jest? Jest.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland. And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
I located the shop, but it was vandalized, and the owner is missing. All I found was your order.
I was afraid of such bad news. People are so desperate they're ready to burgle a shop for drugs.
That's quite a list you ordered. Opium, sodium hypochlorite. It can't be just headaches you're trying to cure.
This dreadful influenza, of course. I already ran some tests on hopeless cases. Without success, I must admit.
Do you realize you could create a lethal poison without the correct dosage? Then there are the legal ramifications.
Is this not true of any medical substance, Dr. Reed? However, if you would agree to improve it, I'd be glad to accept your help.
As long as you promise to be scrupulous with your experiments, I may try to gather these substances, and even help improve upon the mixture.
That's all I'm asking for, Dr. Reed. That's all I'm asking.
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
No dobra. Skoro tak, ale kurwa. Tak jak kiedyś nie lubiłem masła orzechowego, tak się kurwa zajadam teraz, nie?
I want to know about these secret tests you run, and if they can save people from this epidemic. Speak to me now, Thoreau.
I know I may sound presumptuous, but I'm just following your steps, Dr. Reed. I'm casting away the shadows of ignorance by daring to face them.
Self-confidence is essential in our line of work, my young colleague, but only if tempered with the correct amount of cynicism.
But you never doubt yourself, Dr. Reed. I've read all your articles and books. You performed the most daring research during the war.
You have my support, Dr. Strickland. I know how to battle an unknown disease with only your mind to help you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. You don't know what that means to me.
Dobrze, nie podniecaj się już tam tak strasznie, wiesz?
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. I can't let Strickland put his patients at risk with opium. Perhaps an adjusted formula will deliver more of a placebo effect. 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . . 。 . . . . . . . 。 . . . . . . . . 。 . . . 。 . 。 . . . 。 .
. 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 .
「
This hospital seems to be...
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
I have retrieved your letter, Mr. Goswick. I can assure you that nobody read it but me.
Thank you. This is for you, then. For your help. And for your silence.
I think you should talk to your mother. It would be good for both of you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I'll think about it. Now, please, let me be.
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable feeling of despair while the world crumbles around you. Tell me more about it.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand what I feel.
The world is bleak, but maybe the pain we feel is the best compass for making it a better place.
How can we repair the world, Dr. Reed, when mankind is the biggest problem? Yes, the world will be a much better place when we're gone.
Do you need any help?
Thank you, Dr. Reed, but you've done enough already. The rest is up to me now.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Don't waste your time with me.
Okej. Spoko. Ale ten kurwa masło orzechowe jest zajebiste, Jezu. No, na górę. Na górę. Kolejna? Kolejna. Zajebiste. Czekaj, to było mój gabinet, chyba tam był. O, jeszcze więcej czegoś. Oddawaj. Oddawaj mnie to. Idźmy więc. Zajebiste zajebistości. A tu co? To było zamknięte wcześniej. Weź nie spadnij, dobra. Co mam zrobić? Ja mam składniki, które mam przy sobie. Opium, kodeina, linian sodu, linian żelaza 26. A potrzebuję 6 nadmanganianu potasu pod chloryn sodu. Pod chloryn sodu mam chloryn sodu mam, winię żelaza też mam, tylko ten nadmanganian potasu tego nie mam, gówna. Esencja z goździkowej, kurwa. Ale skąd masz jeszcze normalnie, no? Kurwa, Roma. Może to wyciągnę kogoś, Winian. Tu jakieś te... Nadmanganian potasu. Kutasu nadmaganian kutasu. Dobra, idźmy, zróbmy dla tej pojebuski tą misję może. Może tym razem mi się to uda. Trochę się podlepszyłem, więc może pójdzie gładko. Albo i nie. Pod chlorynu sodu. Ja potrzebuję...
It's locked, all right.
It's locked, alright, alright. Dobrze, ja wyszedłem. O tam właśnie. Właśnie tam mamy iść. Edgarem Swansea. Edgarze. Tam na górę na pewno nie idziemy. Próbujemy dojebać tamtym strażnikom. Wow. Wow. Kurwa, ale mi jebnął. Wow, wow, wow. Kurwa. Patrz, najebią mi. Skurwysyny. Dawaj siłę. Dobra, nie zajebią. Jeden jest. Ten gruby jest mocny. Jeszcze tamten, idę tamtego zajebać. Dobra, leżeć, ale mi jebno. Chciałbyś. O ty kurwa. No i leżeć. Zajebiście. Teraz mi dobrze poszło, bo wtedy mnie rozjewali. Raz zamknij pizdę, tam poszedłem go najebiał, ale on jest za mocny dla mnie. No korci mnie iść do niego, nie? Coś tutaj jest. Pamiętaj o zmyśle swego wampira. Wampirze. Ty kurwiu.
It's locked, all right.
O ty kurwa. Wypierdalaj. Patrz, jebany. O, ale mi zajebał. Dobra, kurwa. No patrz, unik zrobił. Jebany. Mocny jest chuj. Ci powiem. Kurwa, Aj. Nie, 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 nie. Ty chuju, złapał mnie. Ale lipa, ale lipa. O, zjebałem się tam na dół. Kurwa, dobrze, że ta gra się buguje. Bez kitów. Dobra, leżeć. Kurwa, mało miejsca. Patrz, kurwa. Chodź tu, pajacu. O! Kurwa. No nie, nie wierzę. Leżeć. Butelka alkoholu? To coś dla mnie. Może tam będzie to co szukam. Może i nie. Winian żelaza, krzepka krew, ja pierdolę. Znajdę to dzisiaj kiedyś. Siema.
What happened? Who are you?
It's all right, sir. You're safe now.
Fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent. But those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. Now with this bloody fever, they're just elements.
You can find safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages. You had better return to what...
Safety isn't...
Nie, mało ma. Jebać go.
This is Braille. I need someone who can read this. You had better return to Whitechapel without delay. It will be safer there.
Safety isn't really in it.
On mi od tego nie odczyta, dobra, jebać. Aha. Coś mi tu zajebało czymś. Nie zesrałem się. Dobra, wyjdźmy z tego barłogu, nie ma co tam siedzieć, rozumiesz? Taka sytuacja, hemoglobina. A, idziemy dalej tam tych znaleźć, dobra. To zobaczymy zaraz w takim razie. Wow! No może, nie no. No ja bym przecież mnie na strzała wtedy ściągnął. Co oni tam kurwa gotują? Tak zajeżdża jakoś chujowo. Daj, bycz, daj! Możesz. Ale mi jebnął.
We have to stop it!
Naraz trafiłem tym ciosem. Co? Trafił mnie przez mur tym gównem? Nie no kurwa, to kpina, ej. Chyba nie. Dawaj tutaj. Żryj go. Boi. No nieważne. Bloody monster. Muszę to ulepszyć, bo już powoli zaczyna coraz słabiej to bić. A ten cios jest całkiem dobry. Kotek. Jakieś piguły, ale będzie, zaraz wrócimy do szpitala. Jak se wszczyknę piguły, to pachanie. Kurwa, 3 dni będzie mnie telepało. Aha, okej. Co tu mamy? Jakiś nożyk znalazłem? Spierdalaj. Aj, kurwa. Muszę więcej wytrzymałości sobie zgarnąć. Żryj. Ty najebał mi trochę. Na 17 level w końcu. Chodź, patrz, pokażę ci coś, o, widziałeś? Stróżów Priven. A tak to tutaj było. Płytka. Tego nie zrobię, muszę mieć stół, dobra. Kolejne piguły, ja pierdzielę, ale ci... Oni tu ćpają? Ci powiem. Ty, ale... Po co ja tu przyszedłem? Tak ogólnie. Naboje. A, to ja ich już najebałem. Gdzieś to tu jest, ale gdzie? A, tu jest. O, wziąłem tego, widzisz. Aj, spadła. No dobra, można wracać teraz. Zobaczymy, pójdziemy do tej wariatki, może jej się coś odklei jednak. Czy już się dawno odkleiło, ale może w dobry sposób jej się odklei. Wow! Nie idę tam, nie będę się z tobą bił. Potrzebuję jeszcze z 5 leveli, żeby cię najebać. O właśnie. O to chodziło. Tak, dobra. Przetwórz. Przetwórz. O! No! Mam nadganian teraz. jest? Dobra. No dobra, ale co ja mam kurwa zrobić z tego? Środek medyczny. Poczekaj, bo ja nie czaję. Szczegóły. Jaka zafascynowana. I przygotuj lekarstwo. Kurwa, ale jakie lekarstwo? Ja pierdolę. Nie no, jebne. Co tak jebie? Kurwa. Chuj wie. Na to okno, bo spierdalają tam. Kurwa maniane. Czekaj, kurwa, pójdę do niego, może mi coś powie, bo ja nie wiem, ej. On coś zrobić, kurwa, mam składniki, ale... Nie mam kurwa zielonego pojęcia, czego on chce ode mnie. I do tej kurwie powiem, żeby się odjebała i się ogarnęła. Nie, gdzie ta szmata? Jakaś polazła dziwko, tu siedzisz. Chodź, kurwa, świrnięta babo.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you today? I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage.
Yeah.
Speak, Doctor. Why are they hunting me down?
It was a misunderstanding. These hunters were in fact looking for a very different creature, but they mistakenly put their sights on you.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have discovered me, but they don't know what I'm capable of.
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal. Take this. as a reward for it.
Ja pierdolę.
Perhaps I will allow you to drink deep of my blood. One day.
Thank you. I'll keep that proposition in mind.
No.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Giant morgue disguised as a hospital.
Good evening, Dr.
Słuchaj, Rurku.
I want to know about these...
I know I'm
self-confident.
but you never doubt.
You have my support.
Thank you, Doctor.
Kurwa.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Szlak mnie trafi zaraz, nie? Centralny. Kurwa. Kurwa. Chuj, do tego Swansea może coś w trakcie wymyślę. No nie ma napisane, kurwa mać, co ja mam zrobić, nie? Przygotuj lekarstwo, ale jakie kurwa lekarstwo? Pytam się.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Come in, Jonathan.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend,
No tak.
have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
Moment.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Lady Ashbury.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away.
Since I'm the one working for you...
Well?
Where do we start? What would... You mentioned...
Dobra.
I feel it...
Dobra. Pierdolety.
Since you seem quite... You... Must I take a life?
You are a vampire. You feed. And blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
The man we...
He was just...
Where do...
The name?
Just for clarity. What differences are there between myself and a skull?
A skull is easier to eliminate, Jonathan. Even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
We'll see.
No to się dowiedziałem. Ci powiem. Ale co ja mam tam zrobić z tym jebanym lekarstwem? Znaczy co ja mam...
Strickland's project could be dangerous. I have a mind to report him to Dr. Ackroyd.
Nie, no nie będziemy na niego donosić, chuj tam.
Good evening.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
I have managed to improve the mixture by diluting it. Have you ever heard of Sir Joseph Francis Olive? Or the placebo effect?
No, I don't think so. Why?
A placebo is a substance or procedure that has no actual physical effect.
You made a placebo of my project. Why?
Research has established that a placebo, as long as the subject believes in the effect, can provoke a positive physiological reaction.
Really? That's fascinating. And you want me to, what, administer the placebo and see what occurs?
Something like that, yes.
Well, I'm a bit surprised, but I trust you, Dr. Reed. Please take the key to my cabinet and put this placebo there for future use.
Have you heard any talk of black...
If you're running some official inquiry, you had better question...
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your dislike for Dr. Ackroyd?
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envy...
Okay. Goodbye, Doctor.
I'm quite busy,
Have you heard about any
blackmail?
Do you think Dr. Strickland has any chance of curing the Spanish flu by himself?
His wish to cure the sick is not driven...
You consider him a good practitioner?
Strickland may be a rival, but I will not eat...
Thank you for your... It's locked. It's locked, all right. At least Strickland can't kill anyone with this formula.
Okay. Się coś pojawiło? Nie, wszystko zakończone, okej.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
Have you heard?
No.
Your medical report says you're not affected by the Spanish flu.
Does it make me happy?
And why do you think you'd...
I know the staff have more important...
I have to go now.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening. Have you heard?
No?
Goodbye for now.
I will not let you down, my
Okay.
boy.
Dr. Reed, may I help you?
What can you...
Every
news...
It's...
What can you...
This
Can you be...
Well,
For how...
I first volunteered at the Pembroke in 1911.
And before you arrived...
If you must know, this was my...
Well, doctors...
Not...
What about...
Dr. Reed,
How is the...
everybody works until they come.
I'll see you...
Okej, then. Siema ty.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
Chyba nie masz mi do
Goodbye.
powiedzenia. Goodbye.
Thoughts in your heart.
Good evening. Have you heard rumors of...
If you want to know what's going on here, you better talk to Miss Jones. She knows.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come...
Reconstructive surgery has been very
I
successful.
don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life.
Tell me, what...
I went with a hot...
Did you start the fire?
No. It's just that I was asleep.
Goodbye for now.
Hello again, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later. I cannot enter. Good evening, Miss. Have you heard of any blackmailing going on?
I have no time for mortal get.
I'll leave you.
No tak.
Good evening, Nurse Brent.
Good evening.
Goodbye.
We are.
Good evening, Doctor.
To typet.
Have you heard of...
I have no time for...
Goodbye.
Okej, then. Czytamy jeszcze tego od karetki.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Co on mi powie?
Have you heard...
There are a lot of secrets round here. I'm not surprised someone tried to make money from them.
What kind of secrets?
I'm not in the gossip business, Dr. Reed. If you want to know more, you better talk to Harriet Jones. She's the eldest patient here.
I'd like...
Wise choice, Dr. Reed.
Strzelba Miltona. Może sobie powinienem ją kupić. Dawaj, chyba tam. Będzie. Teraz się założymy. No i zajebiście. Co? Jeszcze raz. A, no tak. Dobra.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy.
No tak.
I must refuse his most recent demands.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts little poor sods.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
No tak.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. See those scratching, slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Okej. Dobra, ale to już kiedy indziej, może później, może nie wiem, zobaczymy. Siema Eloją.